are a few reasons to support DC Intel. 1. Timely updates. Get the latest breaking news and intelligence updates as they happen. 2. Reliable information. Depend on us for accurate and credible news sources. 3. Insightful analysis. Gain deeper understanding with our expert analysis and comprehensive coverage. 4. Community engagement. Join a community of informed and engaged individuals who care about current events. 5. Transparency. We are committed to transparency in all our reporting, helping you to see the bigger picture. 6. Convenience. Stay informed on the go with easy access to updates through our social media platforms. Supporting DC Intel means staying informed and connected with the news that impacts our nation.
Love is the only way. Love is the answer. Love is the only way. Oh, love, love, love. It's the only way. Oh, love, love, love. Let it lead the way. In a world so cold, love's the warmth we hold. In a sea of doubt, love will find us out. Oh, love, love, love. It's the only way. Oh, love, love, love. Let it lead the way. So cold, love's the warmth we hold. In a sea of doubt, love will find us out. Oh, love, love, love. It's the only way. Oh, love, love, love. Let it lead the way. Hearts beat as one underneath the sun. Love's melody sets our spirits free. Oh, love, love, love. It's the only way. Oh, love, love, love. Let it lead the way. I feel it in the sound of freedom. I can hear the sound of a revolution. I can feel the ground shaking. The winds of a change coming, coming. Sound of freedom, oh so loud. Revolution in the crowd, shaking ground.
Here are a few reasons to support DC Intel. 1. Timely updates. Get the latest breaking news and intelligence updates as they happen. 2. Reliable information. Depend on us for accurate and credible news sources. 3. Insightful analysis. Gain deeper understanding with our expert analysis and comprehensive coverage. 4. Community engagement. Join a community of informed and engaged individuals who care about current events. 5. Transparency. We are committed to transparency in all our reporting, helping you to see the bigger picture. 6. Convenience. Stay informed on the go with easy access to updates through our social media platforms. Supporting DC Intel means staying informed and connected with the news that impacts our nation.
We would like to invite you to become a DC Guardian. A Guardian is someone who supports us with a gift of $10 a month. And you will also receive a beautiful DC decal so you can post your support. And also you will get email updates for Guardians only. Plus special discounts on products and functions and conferences to come. Please click on the donate button on our eiobn.com website to support. Once again, on behalf of the Excellence in Online Broadcasting Network, thank you.
Let me assert my firm belief that the only thing we have to fear is fear itself. Nameless, unreasoning, unjustified terror, which paralyzes needed efforts to convert retreat into advance.
Every generation stands on the shoulders of the generation that went before. And so you see farther because you're standing taller than we did and can look farther. But at least give us the credit that you're seeing farther because you're standing on our shoulders. We don't have inflation because the people are living too well. We have inflation because the government is living too well.
And so, my fellow Americans, ask not what your country can do for you. Ask what you can do for your country. We dare not forget today that we are the heirs of that first revolution. Let the word go forth from this time and place to friend and foe alike that the torch has been passed to a new generation of Americans born in this century, tempered by war, disciplined by a hard and bitter peace, proud of our ancient heritage, and unwilling to witness or permit the slow undoing of those human rights to which this nation has always been committed and to which we are committed today at home and around the world.
If I give you one message to hold in your hearts today, it's this. The more people tell you it's not possible, that it can't be done, the more you should be absolutely determined to prove them wrong. Treat the word impossible as nothing more than motivation. Relish the opportunity to be an outsider. Embrace that label. Being an outsider is fine. Embrace the label. Because it's the outsiders who change the world and who make a real and lasting difference. The more that a broken system tells you that you're wrong, the more certain you should be that you must keep pushing ahead. You must keep pushing forward. And always have the courage to be yourself.
Sound of freedom, oh so loud. Revolution in the crowd. Shaking ground, winds of change. Feel it all, rearrange. Voices rising, hearts beating. Hope in the air, never retreating. A new day dawning, colors bright. Embracing the change, feeling right. Sound of freedom, oh so loud. Revolution in the crowd. Shaking ground, winds of change. Feel it all, rearrange. Break the chains, break the mold. Embrace the future, bold and bold. Stand together, hand in hand. United we rise across the land. Sound of freedom, oh so loud. Revolution in the crowd. Shaking ground, winds of change. Feel it all, rearrange.
All right, everybody. Happy Friday. Happy Friday. Thank you so much for tuning in today. And we're going to get started right away here. Sorry I got a late start there. But that's okay. I had people calling me and texting me and everything else. Anyway, let's get going here. Let's see what we got here. Let's go into the chat here. Hello, Georgia. Thank you so much for tuning in today. Hutchinson, Kansas in the house. Hello from North Louisiana in the house. Carson City, Michigan in the house. Columbus, Georgia in the house. Bellefontaine, Ohio in the house. Beaufort, Georgia in the house. Ozark, Alabama. ODC from McAllen, Texas. Terre Haute, Indiana. Good morning from Dallas. Good morning to you. I love your show from Central Missouri. Thank you so much. Hi from Buffalo, New York. Reporting for duty, Bedford, Georgia. Or Bedford, Virginia, excuse me. I keep saying that. My gosh. Thank you so much, Terrible Tim. Hello from Oklahoma. Hello from Culver, Indiana. Hello, Patriots. DC and Patriots from Hobbs, New Mexico. Let's see who else we got in here. Good joining you this morning. Grand morning. Thank you so much, Jackie075. Little Tennessee in the house. Happy Friday, DC. Everyone from Springfield, Missouri. Kingsport, Tennessee in the house. Mrs. Doc watching and listening from DeSoto. Okay, on the phone at my computer. Thank you. And the phone and my computer. Oh, okay, at your computer. Well, thank you so much, Miss Doc. Let's see here. Hello from Phil in Cartersville, Georgia. Hello from West Tennessee. Holly from Yermo, California, sending out blessings. Thank you so much. Hello, DC from Stanford, Kentucky in the house today. Hey, DC from Knoxville, Tennessee. It's great to be alive. Yes, it is. Hattiesburg, Mississippi. Hey, DC Harley, Hattiesburg, Mississippi with you. Thank you so much. Gainesville, Texas in the house. Thank you to you. Happy Friday to you. East Jordan, Michigan in the house. DC, I'm in McAllen, Texas, and around the corner from the house there's a military and also setting up containers and lots of activity going on. Okay. Monica, take some pictures, get some stuff, and shoot it to my email. Hello, DC, Gwen, Hamilton, Ohio. Ringgold, Georgia in here. Glad you're here. Live Oak, Florida in the house. Hey, DC, Summerfield, Florida in the house. Everyone's fine. Okay. Weathering the hurricane. Well, Mustang Gal, glad you're back. Beautiful pagers waving from Eagle, Idaho. Okay. Hey, DC, much appreciation from Weatherford, Texas. Hey, DC for Delaware. Orange County, New York. Happy Friday, DC, and pagers from Mechanicsville, Virginia. Benbrook, Texas in the house. Slate Lick, Pennsylvania. Everyone in DC, Greater Tampa Bay Area. Hope you're safe out there. You see Patriots from Pam in Columbia, Kentucky. Hope everyone's doing well. Raleigh, North Carolina. RC and EC in the house. Thank you so much, guys. Winston-Salem in the house. Oklahoma in the house. Dalton, Georgia here. Let's see. Wetumpka, Alabama in the house. Hello from the road between Altoona and Harrisburg, Pennsylvania, all right? Hello from Wyoming. I have so missed the station. Awesome. Thank you so much, Mustang. Hopefully you can catch back up. Jimmy listening from Abbeville, Louisiana. DC's time to drain the swamp. Absolutely, I believe it. Jefferson City, Missouri in the house. Let's see here. ODC from Kentucky. Indianapolis in the house. Cabner, Kentucky, back up in the house. New Enterprise, I'm assuming Alabama in the house. Or maybe it's like Star Trek, the Enterprise. Who knows these days, right? Chicagoland up in the house. Good pizza up there. Giordano's and that other place over there in Hodgkins. Good stuff. Edwardsburg, Michigan in the house. Made it. Howdy, DC fellow patrons. I meet Louisiana. Thank you so much. Sending everyone positive vibes from Boyertown, Pennsylvania. Hey there. Let's see here. Sponoke in the house. Morning from San Pedro, California. Hey, DC from West Tennessee. You're the bright spot of my day. Well, thank you so much. I don't know. If you saw me in person, you'd be like, oh, gosh. You know, it's like that, what's that movie? I forget what movie it is, but it's got like, I think it's Wayne's World. And they got the guy that go in there. It's Handsome Dan is what he went by. Handsome Dan. Handsome Dan. And they get there with Handsome Dan, and he ain't so handsome, right? But anyways, I'm glad I could be a bright spot in somebody's day. Charles City, Virginia in the house. Hey, DC from North Mississippi. Is anyone hearing any music? No, there shouldn't be any music playing. Hello, DC from Mesquite, Texas. Let's see here. Yeah, Mesquite, Texas there. Sorry, my chat froze up. Holden Beach, North Carolina. Thank you much for what you do. Love your show. Thank you so much. DC, we appreciate your hard work, and you are the GOAT. Man, I don't know. Sometimes I feel more like a cow. Katie from Soddy Daisy, Tennessee. Karen from Ringgold, Georgia's daughter. Okay. All right, let's see here. Okay. Meansville, Georgia in the house. Hey from Vegas. Trump is going to Aurora today. Yep. Don't forget the way he said, you may never see me again. I know. Everybody's got to pay attention. Although he did book the Madison Square Garden, and it's already sold out, which is quite crazy. Hello from Georgia Coast. A happy Friday from East Tennessee. Standing tall, getting my DC fix on. Thank you so much. Is there any sound here? Have nothing but this chat. Does anyone else have any sound? I'm assuming we do. But anyway, let's see here. Yep, everybody else has got sound and music. You may just have to refresh your video. Let's see here. Because it's all a Rumble thing. It's not a DC problem. Shreveport, Louisiana. Let's see here. Grafton, Wisconsin. Oshkosh in the house. Virginia Beach in the house. Camden, South Carolina. Arlington, Texas. Hello to you. See, what's up, everyone? Happy to be here. DC, you're the best. Thank you so much. Crazy Drain. Dunklin, Oklahoma in house. They tried wiping us out. Absolutely. Hey, Palm Bay, Florida. DC from Middle Tennessee. Thank you so much. Thank you. Sullivan, Indiana. In the house here. Greenville, Michigan here. Greetings from Jamestown, New York. It's a 3-day weekend. Hopefully, yeah, absolutely. Long Island. Okay. Holly Springs, Georgia in the house. Beaverton, Oregon. Hello, Rob. Columbus, Georgia. Hello, neighbor across from. I'm across the hooch in Phoenix City, Alabama. Okay. All right. Good deal. Happy Friday from Maryland in Kansas City. Thanks for everything you do, DC. Thank you. Brenman, Georgia in the house. Hello from Fancy Farm, Kentucky. Thank you for all you do. Thank you so much. From Fancy Farm. Crawfordsville, Indiana. Iowa in the house. Please, advice, please. Early or same day voting. My advice on that is I mean, it depends on if you can. If you can show up on the same day, then show up on the same day. I'm always one that wants to cast my vote, do my thing, and watch it go into the electronic deal and be done. That way, I'm just, because once you do it early, you don't know what happens to it. I'm not saying it's wrong. I'm just saying that's my preference, but to each his own. Crawfordsville, Indiana. Let's see here. Iowa here. Okay, I did it. Jeep Girl from Dallas, Georgia, in house. Thank you so much for tuning in. Hoping it's from the Chicaneans at the DI. Yeah. Hello from Phoenix. Hello from Indiana again. Georgia in the house. Finally got power last night. Awesome. Phoenix City, Alabama in the house. Did we lose sound? Don't know. Close out and come back in. Yeah, that's what you do. Anita, Clinton, Tennessee. South Georgia coast. Live on South Georgia coast. Every night I hear choppers in my house about an hour, about 50 miles from. Right. Yeah, something is up. There's a lot of things up. Howell, Michigan listening. Hello to you. Hi from Michelle from Pittsburgh. Thank you so much. Finally made a live show. Watson, Louisiana here. Awesome. Thank you so much. Glad that you're listening today. Wilsonville, Oregon here. Love you, DC. Part of my morning and coffee. Hopefully it's good stuff. I'm more of a hot chocolate kind of guy, but all right, let's see here. Carver, Massachusetts. I tell too much about myself, right? Hey, DC, Wetumpka, Alabama. If you're not hearing sound or you're having problems, it's a Rumble issue. It is not a DC issue. Just go back out and refresh. It means your internet is cutting in and out. Hello, DC. Sherry from Fort Mill, South Carolina. Russell, also blessed to be here. Thank you so much. Russ, that's listening from Louisiana. Thank you so much. Phoenix City, Alabama in the house. Alaska's in the house. Kenai, Alaska. Knoxville here. Brighton, Michigan. Brightonton, Michigan. Rumor has it that the Shinans have. What do we think? Oh, absolutely. I've been saying that for 2 months. We're going to have a lot of shenanigans that's trying to mess with our elections. And let's see here. Let's see what happens here. Okay. Yep, I'm here. I'm actually looking at the live on a totally different machine, and everything looks good and sounds fine. So if you're having problems, it's something on your end. You just have to refresh it. All right, I'm still on. The streams are still going, so we're going to get started today. A lot of things are going on, and I will pop out a little bit. We have more people coming in and acknowledge them. I heard Trump say a couple of weeks ago he's going to, I'm reading the chat, guys. I heard Trump say a couple of weeks ago he's going to Butler and then Aurora, and then he said he may not see him again after Aurora. He is in Aurora today. What's the thoughts on that? My thoughts on that is, I don't know, I'll be honest with you. And I don't mean that to be like sharp. I don't know. I'm just saying anything is possible right now. And the reason why I'm saying that, and let me see if I can go ahead and pull it up since we're already starting on this already, is you have, let me see if I can find it here. I was actually going to play it today and talk to you about it. But yeah, Trump, he's already, rented the Madison Square Garden. And, but anyways, we'll see what happens. He also said that he, that it would be the last time we would see him, but that's what he had to do. I know that's a little rocky for some people. It was a little rocky for me because I'm like, what the frick are you talking about, dude? Come on. But I'm not really worried about it. I'm not worried about it because it's, what they always say, trust the process. And that's what we're trying to do here. And the reason why I'm saying, I'm not really too worried is because if something would happen, it would totally, here's the thing. If something would happen over this weekend, first of all, I'll be back on the radio. I'll be back on all our streams. But if something would take place, let's just talk about this for a second. If something would take place, we're not going to panic. We're not going to panic. Hello, Genoa, Georgia. We're not going to panic because we know that even for those of you that have followed Q, you follow different things, you know that part of that is this one saying that I'm going to say. If anyone have ever followed that, you're going to know what I'm talking about. When it says that President Trump is insulated, and he's insulated very well, and he's safe. Could it be a black swan event? Could it? I'll tell you this. Anything is possible. Anything is possible right now. Because we have so much going on in our country and so much with weather, with politics, with all kinds of things. Anything is possible. And here's the great thing. If nothing takes place, then guess what? Then we're over that hump, and whatever he thought possibly could have happened hasn't happened. It won't happen. That's good. But here's the thing. You have to keep in mind that, the Georgia election, let's start with that. The Georgia election board subpoenas all 2020 election records from Fulton County. Okay? For them to do this, Democrats panic. They're after they're polling this. Okay, it's the Georgia election board that subpoenas all this. Now, I know a lot of people have cried. The election has been messed with, which, you know what, we all know that. Okay. Good to see you, Winston-Salem. We all know that. It's all been messed with. But here's the thing. We've discussed the election fraud for 3.5 years, about to hit 4. And I know what everybody's saying. I haven't seen nothing happen. Nothing happen. Let me ask you this. Instead of making statements like that, how about you start asking your news people, how come you're not covering the true news? I'm going to play you something here in a little bit. Somebody brought something to my attention about a clip I played yesterday, and I want to actually dive into it further, and because I think it came off the wrong way, but we'll get to that here in a second. But the Democrats are actually panicking now, especially in Georgia. Anyone that's had their hand in this is going to get more than slapped. I'm just going to say that. Because they're actually, for them to subpoena all the election records, that means an investigation's already been done, and it's been done. A finding has been completed, and now a second audit will go over that. I said from day one of this show that we would not see. Understand what I'm saying? We would not see everything overturned and all this happen in just a short amount of time, because that's just not what happens. That's not how it works. It takes a long time sometimes investigations go 5 to 20 years, sometimes further than that. And when you're dealing with so many crooked people in power, it's crazy. It's just crazy. And things take time. I believe that we won't see the fullness of arrests and the fullness of, now I'm not saying all, so don't panic. I'm saying we're not going to see the fullness of this whole investigation and everything that's went down in this whole election sting. Okay? Until about 1.5 years, maybe the 2-year mark of Trump being in the White House. Because a lot of things can happen here. And I know somebody's going to go, well, the law says this. Let me tell you something. No one has been abiding by the law or the Constitution for the past 3.5 years. We know that for a fact. And we could come down. Now, just hear me out. Hear me out. This is just a scenario. Before everyone runs out and says, oh, it's all right, it's all right. If Trump, okay, let me stop here. When Trump is sworn in and he's in the White House, everybody's going to do the happy dance. We get it. But I keep telling you, Do not throw your clothes on the shelf. Do not kick your feet up in the chair. Do not grab you a hot chocolate or a Coke or a water or a Pepsi, whatever you drink. Don't grab that stuff and sit back and go, we're done. We've made it. Because we haven't. That's just one step in the right direction. You understand me? And if he is, let's say he's in there a year and a half, and then it comes out, all the investigation, and then it's proven to everyone, not just Republicans or conspiracy theorists thinking that something, and it's proven, then that term that was stolen must be replaced, must be given. If you go back about 6 months ago and listen to me, Trump made a statement and said, we don't know what the future holds. We could even be to the point that we be in here 8 years. Do I think Trump would stay in 8 years? No, I do not. He's getting older. There's all kinds of possibilities that can happen, but it's happening. It is happening. There's so much at stake here. So with Trump going to these different, why can some states allow illegals to vote? They aren't U.S. citizens. Well, because states make their own rules, and I'll here in a second I'll prove that to you. Which it's some of it's really bad what they do. It's just horrible. Let me see here. See if I can find it here. I got so much stuff in front of me. It's unbelievable. Sorry. Okay. Oh, here we go. So, and this will prove to you. This is going to prove to you about that with the voting and stuff like that. How can a state do that? Well, they can. It ain't right. We know that it's not right, but they do it. And here's a perfect example. This is what I'm going to say. I don't know why in the world you didn't miss anything there. Somebody was calling and I had to mute it. I don't understand why. All right. I'm so sorry, guys. Ugh. I got people from everywhere, all over the United States, just texting and trying to call and everything else. Okay. So get back to this. Why can some states allow illegals to vote? They aren't U.S. citizens. Well, first of all, they should not be allowed to vote. They should not be allowed to vote because that's a constitutional thing. That's under our Constitution. We're allowed to do these things. Okay, we can remove government. You think about that. Go back to that. We can remove government at any time we see fit. It's just that for years the government has had us scared to death that if we do anything, well, you'll face arrest. They have become the tyrants and the Nazis over the United States. The government has. They just have. That's why, we don't want to go against the government because they can confiscate our house and take this and take that. When the American people, and I believe we're coming to this, guys, I keep telling you, the heartbeat of America is coming back stronger. We're seeing it every day. And it has nothing to do with just who's in office. It has everything to do with we're tired. We are sick and tired of government and the way they've done. That's where we are. But how can they do this? Some states are letting them, which you got places like New York and different states. But anyways, I got this, and I've already been thinking about covering this, but someone sent this to me this morning, and I thought, well, there's a power in two witnesses or more, right? So I'll go ahead and cover this. And after I read you this and I talk to you about this, I'm going to challenge you today to contact your governor of your state and challenge them to do this. If you're in a Democratic state, it probably ain't gonna work. But anyways, so it says, hey DC, forgive me for covering if you've already covered this. I don't know your connections. In Florida, and I was going to cover this, but I was going to hold off till next week, but here we go. In Florida, Governor DeSantis has created the State Guard, okay? A guardsman unit like the National Guard, but directly under his control. Let me stop there. This is what I'm talking about right here. When I've been saying before the storm and during the storms, it's been happening. FEMA can go suck a log, okay? The government can kiss my crack because they don't have the same views as us. And since we don't have the same views, they automatically assume, oh, we're a threat, or either, they're part of a conspiracy crew and they're this and they're that. They want you to be under mind control of them, the government. And what we're having, now I told you yesterday and the day before, for a while I wasn't a big fan of DeSantis. But when people make moves like this, I have nothing but to respect them because they realize that FEMA / the government is a piece of poop. They're useless. They are waste. And by him creating this, the State Guard, and a guardian unit like the National Guard, but directly under his control, if our Republican Democrats, and I'm going to go further in here, if our Republican, not Democrats, if our Republican, that are Republicans against the Democrats, we have more Republicans than Democrats that we can push here. And if those governors, Republican governors of states, would say, you know what, the need is so great, the National Guard is no use to me. Because for them to be called up, for them to be sent out, there has to go all through all this stupid paperwork, all this stupid stuff, all the politics. Let's just stop. If my state is my state, then I'm going to take care of my people, okay? And by Governor DeSantis doing this, creating the State Guard, and it being like the National Guard, but it's a guardsman unit like them, but it's directly under his control. So then he can send them out immediately with resources from the state because he's a governor. He don't have to go through all this stuff and just send it out. Let's see here. Who's a coward, Ethel? I don't know who y'all talking about. But anyway, I can't do nothing but respect that part. And then also within that, he also created this past year a special strike force. It operates outside of the federal government and FEMA. Do you hear me? Outside of that. And outside of that, yeah, you're right. Kentucky, they've got a pussy for a governor. He ain't no good. He's a big old big baby. But his day's coming because he's going to be named up inside this judge that got his head blown off in Kentucky. His name's going to come up in that. Because anyway, we'll get to that some other day. We'll just let the media eat it for alive for a while before we go anything. But anyway, the special strike force. It operates outside the federal government and FEMA. Let me tell you something. If our Republican governors, and trust me, I know several of them, that I'm going to send this to them and ask them, why don't we do this? Instead of waiting for everybody to call up the Guard and call up FEMA and call up this, here's the thing. Better yet, let's do this. I'm kind of an instigator and troublemaker, right? If your state does not want to do it, well, I ain't going to say it. But anyway, if your state ain't going to do it, let me know. Just let me know. I want to know. And if your state is already doing it, I'd like to know. Because for him to do this, This sends a loud message of what I've been preaching for months now. The federal government and FEMA are useless and they need fired. And they can only be fired when we, the people, stand up and stop using them. See, we've been so, America has been so, has been so much on the tit. Yep, said it. America has been on the tit, the big booby in its mouth from its mama government. And anytime something happens, oh, come burp me. Please come burp me, Papa FEMA. Please come change my diaper, U.S. government. That's the mindset. And it's been that way for so long that generations of people have grown up on depending upon the government. And depending upon the government gets you nowhere. But outside of that, there's also a group called the Aerial Recovery. And that is a program run by veterans. It's ran by veterans, nonprofit, and it's global. Both of these groups are grassroots. They will take, no bull crap. They take supplies and get them in and get them where they're needed. Just flat out do it. Their goal is to get there first and to establish a chain of command before FEMA gets there. I'm going somewhere with this. They interface well with the local authorities, and they integrate private donations into their efforts. No questions asked. Here's the thing. Let me see here. Okay. So with this that Governor DeSantis has done, plus also these other, veterans have done their deal. It makes me feel good, okay? And I'll tell you this, because when the storm hit, one of the things I said, prior to the storm hitting, I said, hey, people need to be the voice and the feet and the hands and the finances before FEMA gets in there. We need to be there prior to anybody stepping feet on the ground. I'm talking about Americans, just good Americans, not the ones that have went in and really wreaked havoc. And there has been some that's really done some really dumb stuff in the midst of this storm with resources and stuff like that. And it's disappointing. But, you learn lessons. You listen to other stories. You're like, man, I can't believe people do that. Yada, yada, yada. But here's the thing is, if they can do that, if they can create these units, then your governor of your state can create a unit that's directly for, and that's where we are. If we can get, and that sounds impossible, guys. Oh, it's impossible to do that. It is not impossible. It is not even impossible. A lot of states, the reason why that they always call upon FEMA or always call upon the government to come in is because they look at it from, wow, we can get grants. We can get more money for this and this and this, and it'll rebuild our communities. And it's pathetic. It's pathetic. Because here's the thing. Where do you think the government gets their money from? From you. Get it from you. FEMA is definitely controlled by the deep state. Absolutely. Because it is about control. It's about coming in and saying, oh, well, you can't do. Here's the thing is, if there is enough people and enough states that stand together and create groups like this, of coming together and doing what I said I'm doing, and doing what Governor DeSantis is doing, man, you realize the power we have? You realize how powerful that is? Because we the people take it back over. You understand? It don't have to be done with violence, none of that stuff. It's just, hey, we no longer need you. Sorry, we've already got it taken care of. Goodbye. Oh, we're going, FEMA. We're going to set up shop right here. No, I'm afraid you can't, because we've already set up here. Well, we're the government. Well, we're the people, and you're fired. You're fired. And well, you can't do that. You want to bet? You want to frickin' bet? You want to bet? Let's put it out here right now. Let's just go through and have a history class while you're out here, FEMA, and I'll show you what a big piece of crap waste you are, because we the people are not going to put up with this. So with that being said, with this group, the Aero Recovery, all these different things that's going on. I'm going to be honest with you. I love everything that I love this. I love what they're doing. I love how they're setting things up. But I'm going to tell you right now, I'm working on the backpacks. Some of you've emailed me on that, and I will get back to you. I've just got so much going on. We'll get to that. But one of the things is this, Governor Cooper, North Carolina. Right. Here's the thing. It's so big what this community of people can do. What we have done in the past week and a half, whatever, I mean, I've lost track of it now, has been absolutely nothing short of astonishing and amazing. Amazing. We literally met people where they are. Not going through all these other little things, and we met people, boots on the ground, and just right there. Yeah, there's been a lot of hiccups. Yeah, there's been a lot of stuff, but that's what we signed up for. So with all the backpacks things that I'm doing, my goal was to have backpacks in all 50 states. Now you say, what's a backpack going to do? Well, if a national disaster happens, at least they're mobilized there. It's just 50. Okay, that's not a lot. It's not a lot, but it can grow over the years. Because if you think I'm in this just for the next 6 months or a year, just to build listeners, I'm not. I'm in this thing for the long haul, people. Until I just retire or something, but that's going to be, even when I retire, I'm still going to do this. I'm still going to do this because you know what? I believe that we have made a difference and will continue to make a difference. And I am so proud of this community with the DC Intel listeners. I'm so proud. And not only with that, with the backpacks, will be all survival stuff in there for people that need it. Not for people who just want to go camping. Because that's just dumb. But if there's a national disaster, there'll be things in there to help them. If there's bad water, there'll be filters in there to filter out the water, to make it drinkable. Everything's going to be in there to survive, not to live for the next 6 years on. And not only that, I am going to build a community here. And if DeSantis can create a task force, if a state guard and create a strike force, and if your veterans can, there's all kinds of different companies that do different things, or different companies, entities, I'll say that. Entities that do different things. You got the Cajun Navy, you got all these things. Cajun Navy's great. There's a ton of different ones. Everybody has their own different vision. And my vision, y'all know, my vision is one, to bring home children that have been sex trafficked. That's my big deal. But outside of that, we got more national disasters coming around. So why can't we be all? And not only that, I am officially announcing today that I'm about ready to create a task force that will do this, that will be a part of this and what we're doing. I already have U.S. Marshals. I have state troopers, sheriff, local police, former fire. There's a bunch. And not only that, there's people that's reached out to me through email that have been therapists, and we're going to utilize those people. We're going to utilize it all. Because there's more than just taking food. Some people have to have someone to talk to, whether it be in person or on the phone, and also be able to sort through national disasters or things that's happened to them in their life. One of the things that I look to see us do, I'm praying we can do this, in the next probably 3 to 6 months is having us a dedicated line here also that will be attached to the therapist. If someone's needing help in that or someone to listen to, that there will be a 24-hour number set aside that anybody can call 24/7 and reach someone for assistance in something. Now, that doesn't mean that you call and go, well, I need a hamburger today. I'm talking about natural disaster things. That way we know exactly where to go and what we're doing. And I want you to understand, this cannot happen. This cannot happen just me. It takes us all. Everybody has resources. You may say, I had an email from somebody that says, hey, there's 4 of us women that sit and listen to you every day. We love you. We're, older. God forbid I say anything else, because people be emailing me telling me I'm being hating on the elderly people. But those people like that here's the thing, is if you can only give, let me just say this. Years ago, I had a pastor when I was a kid. He told me, he said, DC, he said, people come in the church and they go out of the church, come in the church and go out of the church. And he says, he goes, people church hop. They go from church to church to church to church to church. They can never they get there. And then when they get there, they get settled in. And then after a while, they become disgruntled. And then, God supposedly, quote, 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 tells them to leave. And they up and leave. He goes, and then, somebody else comes in, and I know they've been a troublemaker across town, but people get mad because I still use them. He said, here's the key. If I believe God works in seasons, and I know someone comes in that they've been from another church or whatever, ministry, whatever you call it, and they've been nothing but a daggone troublemaker, and they come in here and they're gung-ho about helping the children's department or helping in the usher ministry or sound or whatever it may be, he says, I 100% put them to work. Because while they're here, even though I'm only guaranteed probably 6 months of them being here until they become disgruntled and leave, for the next 6 months, I'm going to get 100% out of them. And if I know that they can only come and give 10% or 5% of their abilities, here's the thing. It's not about everybody giving 100%. It's about giving what you can do. That's it. Nobody expects, that's the thing about the world. Everybody expects everybody to do everything. If you really knew what is expected of DC on a daily basis, you would crap your pants. And let me tell you something. I go far and above. And some days, I barely make it too. You know what I'm saying? But everybody together, whatever it is, can come together and make the world a better place. So this show is not just about live intel and news and all these different things. It's about making change, making America great again. It's not about Trump. It's not about Biden. None of those people can make what we're doing great. You understand that? It is us coming together for the greater good. Everybody cries about no one loves, no one shows love. Then you know what? Get off your canister or get off your blessed assurance and make something happen. I'm not saying you don't do it at your own church. I'm saying we're doing something completely different. There'll be a section that'll be for helping the mental health of people, because it's real, guys. Do you understand how many people suffered mental health issues after this last election? I'm serious. Not only family members leaving, but their own brain overwhelmed with everything coming in all at once, waiting for the cracking to happen, and all on it. America was on edge. And you have to step back and see that was a plan from the enemy to crack us wide open, and it failed. Period. And you know what was birthed out of that? What we're doing right now. Me sitting here griping to you on the radio or a Rumble or Twitch or I don't know, Kick, whatever it is. I'm on them all. All that. Yeah, see right there. If you need someone to help in an administrative end, we do. Send me an email. We will eventually get back to you. Send me an email. Tell me what all you can do, what you can't do, what you want to do, what you don't want to do. And we'll do it. We'll do it. And here's the thing. If every governor would step in and do what DeSantis has done, and it won't happen for every governor, but if your majority of your Republicans would do this, do you understand? By creating our own guards and our own strike forces and all that stuff, then we step outside of the government and FEMA, which means the money that the government takes in, or the state takes in, not the government, the state takes in, gets replenished back into its people. Wow. Go figure. It's called LOVE, love. What's the Bible say? Without love, you're just noisemakers. You're just clanging cymbals. Without love. I'm gonna play you something. This is a young lady, and what she did was someone was just had their sign up, Trump sign, whatever you want to call it, and this lady walks up. She's a school like a student. Well, she is a student, and she comes up, yanks his sign up, tears it up, destruction of property. Even though it's a sign, probably cost them a couple bucks to make. It doesn't matter. It's your property. Now, when she does this, he calls the police on her. Well, she is flabbergasted that he has called the police on her. And while they are doing this, the police officer comes there and he says, "Hey, what do you want to do?" He said, "Well, she tore up my sign." He goes, "Right." He goes, "I want to press." You goes, "Do you want to press charges?" "Yes, I do." She goes, "What? You're going to press charges?" And I want you to hear this, because it goes from hate, because she's showing hate, because they're all angry about that orange man Trump. And then once she's busted, she realizes, oh, well, I got to be nice and ask him about forgiveness and love and grace.
He's making me mad.
Did you damage his sign?
I have it on video.
So are we pressing
Yes,
charges?
yes. Destruction of... You'll get community service and you'll be ordered to pay restitution for the flag.
I am a full-time student. I'm coming back here in the summertime.
Next time you'll think not to do it.
Dude, like, you can't find any, like, peace in your heart and understanding for...
I will tell the judge, and he'll drop the charges after 6 months and you do community service.
You don't offer, like, second chances, redemption.
It's too late now.
Okay, I made a mistake. It was a flag. But you don't offer, second chances. No, absolutely not. You come tear up my stuff, and you pay the price. And this generation that's doing that has not figured out. Has not figured out that there is a price to be paid for your stupidity. And I'm going to tell you why they continue to do it. And they're more blatant about it, because they have been under a a Biden-Harris, whatever you want to call it, regime that's been full throttle open, do whatever you want to do. Do whatever you want to do. And because there's no consequences, right? No consequences to what you do. Because why? We don't need to make sure there's no consequence. You just do what you want to do, because no one's going to do anything to you. Well, I got news for you. We're coming under a different leader. And not only that, America's heartbeat is coming back. And with the heartbeat coming back, and I said this the other day and I'll say it again, with the heartbeat coming back, people are not as forgiving as all these shenanigans that these people have been doing. They're not, it's just not that way. See, she shouldn't have thought about that. Absolutely, she shouldn't have thought. Who would want to go rip somebody's stuff up, especially a flag? That is someone who doesn't care. And of course, you heard her response. But I'm not a student here. I live out of state, and I just, Well, you'll have to tell that to the judge. He'll probably give you, 6 months of probation or either community service, and you better hope to God he's not a former veteran. That's what you better watch out for. Respect. They have no respect. And if you come on my property and show no respect, you don't come back, right? If you come on my property and tear it up, you have to figure out a way to crawl off my property at that point. So anyway, it's nuts how people do these things. In Florida also, Sheriff Grady, I love his stance on stuff. I love it. One of his reports he went yesterday, I'll just go ahead and play you a little bit of it here. Pull it out here. Sorry about that, guys.
FEMA, through their contractor, Vanguard, sent some subcontractors in to do damage assessments. And what we found out was Jerwan Jackson did damage assessments for FEMA. And he went to Bill's house. And he did a damage assessment, and he learned at that time that Bill had a collection of firearms and frequently sold firearms.
Let me stop here. What happened here? So he goes, now Vanguard, everybody's heard of Vanguard, right? Vanguard, BlackRock, and all that. They are contractors for FEMA. Let me stop here real quick before I touch on this story. For those of you that are having Vanguard security, these guys walking around with guns on their side and maybe a badge that says, I don't know what the heck it says. It really doesn't matter. My point is this. They have no arrest powers and they have no authority. They are bullies in outfits. Matter of fact, if they walk up to you and go, hey, it's a little bit early to be dressing up for Halloween. You look like a joke. You look like a joke. They have no power. They have no power. And if you go back to the Chevron case, that totally took away all power from FEMA arrest powers. You know what I'm saying? So when someone comes in, for those of you in North Carolina and even Tennessee or in Florida or anywhere else, that they show up, they have no power. And what happened here is FEMA had contracted Vanguard to come out and do all these assessments. And these assessments, these guys come out there while they're gone, while the people are gone, assess their house and steal their stuff. Stealing their guns. This is not just a one-time report, okay? This is over and over and over. If you steal any of my guns, you better make sure that you've sold them off, and I don't know where they're at, and I don't even know, because if I find out you have them, I'm old school. I'll take the butt of a shotgun and pound your head for you. I'm not going to mess around. These people, Vanguard, anybody that listens to this show that is from Vanguard or BlackRock or even FEMA, you can go fuck yourself, okay? That's what you could do, first of all. And second of all, you have no power. And we will continue to blast it through the United States of America that you have no power. You are the bully in the room that bullies people or makes them think that there's something else. You know what I'm saying? Makes them think, well, I'm just going to puff out my chest and put on my little airsoft vest that looks like it's bulletproof, and I'm going to throw my little Smith & Wesson on my side and throw some handcuffs on and walk out there like I'm Big Shit Timmy. Give me a break. They have no power. And what's happening in Florida, and I'm glad Sheriff Grady is upon it, and I'm glad these people know it. I'm glad they know it, because now, here's the thing. You come from Louisiana, Alabama, or whatever state, and you come into Florida, you go to any state, from another state and you do that, do you realize it's not just a state charge now? These are gun running charges. These are federal charges. And here's the thing: is before the government can step in and do anything, these state governments like Florida can step in. These sheriffs can step in. I told you that the sheriffs have way more power than these federal cats running around. You really need to research this. And that's good and that's bad, because you have some sheriffs that are just dirty pigs. Same with some local police. I saw a video the other day of a cop going in a house searching, and he walked into the garage, and what he did was he opened up the door, and what's he do? He keeps slamming the door in the side of the guy's vehicle because the guy wasn't even in house. And it was a brand new Yukon or something. Just slamming it, just tearing it all to pieces. You do have good and you do have bad. But I'm glad that Sheriff Grady is jumping on this. Meanwhile, Biden, this was his response yesterday. I'm serious. I don't know why he's stepping out all of a sudden. I think he's just trolling Kamala.
Mr. President, have you spoken with former President Trump at all?
Are you kidding me? Mr. President Trump, former President Trump, get a life, man. Help these people.
Will you hold him accountable? You said you were going to hold those accountable.
Public will hold them accountable. You better than the press hold them accountable because you know the truth.
Do you plan to speak with former President Trump?
No, he just walks off. Yeah, do you hear how he said that? President Trump, former President Trump. Yeah, because Trump is your daddy, you old bag. And can't give an answer. Can't give an answer. At all. Can't give a good answer at all. But let me see if I can find this here. Anyway, you know, well, whatever. Sorry. One of the things that's coming out too, Democratic governor of North Carolina. So, someone put in there and said he's a piece of crap. The Democratic governor of North Carolina is working with the state's largest health insurer to slow down the recovery. And also, before anyone says, well, that's not true, that's just not true. Where'd it go? I've got the leaked emails sitting in front of me now. And the disaster relief update. And it's just talking about thousands of homes have been destroyed, widespread power outages, tragic, people dying, flooding, especially in Western North Carolina. We are still making sure that eventually, they will get medical aid, hygiene, food, water, and possibly temporary shelter. That was just in one email. And here's the thing. First of all, why would you as a governor, let me say this. Why would anyone that's trying to do stuff that's undermining their own people, not even cover their butt, try to hide what they're doing? That's because they don't care. And they don't think they're accountable to anybody. But let me tell you, those that are listening in North Carolina, you need to get you a different governor. You better vote somebody else in. If they don't have your same interest, the best interest of the people at heart, get rid of them. Because the truth will come out. And 9 times out of 10, after that sucker is out of office, it'll come out that he probably had other ties in things. And not only that, he was probably getting kickbacks because that's what they do. But he has not stood up for his people. He is not. And it's pathetic. Absolutely pathetic that he would do that. And just to prove to you, now the governor could step in and say, hey, I want you to do X, Y, Z. That's what he could do. But here we go. This is in Marshall, North Carolina. This is actually, well, I'm just going to let you hear this.
Second Lieutenant William Tilley, Williamtilley.
Okay. Lieutenant Tilley, first of all, where are you from? Who are you representing? And when did you arrive here in Marshall?
Yes, ma'am. So I'm from Rayford, North Carolina, which is where Fort Liberty is located. I'm here with the 20th Engineer Brigade, Task Force Castle. We're tasked by FEMA to come and provide aid on behalf of FEMA and clearing debris from the local area to help out the local populace restore to normalcy.
When did you all arrive?
We got here on Friday evening, ma'am. That would have been about the 5th of October.
And when did you all receive orders to come?
Would have been Tuesday, so the 2nd of October, ma'am.
Okay. How are things going from your perspective for a cleanup? Are you here for the long haul? How long is the deployment down in Marshall, and where else do you think your division will be deployed?
We're still assessing here in Marshall, ma'am, but we're prepared to be here as long as it takes until FEMA decides that we're no longer needed.
Will they rebuild the town? Does FEMA have any say in that? Or what is their directive and what is your directive?
I'm unsure on that, ma'am. We're just here as part of a mission assigned by FEMA to assist the mayor here in Marshall.
Are you coordinating with mayor or anybody on the ground in terms of emergency management services?
I'm taking all orders from the mayor right now, ma'am. Just trying to complete the things he initially tasked us with, which was the town hall here, clearing that out, as well as the basement of the church and the storm drains, ma'am.
Any of the other private businesses, are they getting support?
So for private businesses, ma'am, we're not authorized to help them right now. What I'm going to do is get points of contact for them and the businessmen, and I'll pass that up. And hopefully that'll get to whoever needs that at FEMA so they can designate other resources to help them.
All right. From your perspective, how is the operation going?
It's going well, ma'am. We are getting plugged in here. It took us about a day to find where we really needed to be, but now we're here and we're ready to help.
All right. Thank you very much. Appreciate your time.
So there you go. North Carolina has, like I said, North Carolina has just, it's your governor's dropped the ball. Your governor's dropped the ball. It's time for a new, governor. Let's see here. Let me look at some of the questions here. Sorry. How is FEMA moving military? Well, I don't think when we say military, you have to find out, because we say military and then we all may think it's just the overall thing, and it's not. It depends on what they're deploying, what they're trying to deploy. Is it guard? Is it, what is it? And so it's important to find out what exactly they're deploying. And you have to understand, they're in contracts. They have no power. They're doing everything through contracts. That's how they're doing with Vanguard. Vanguard is their, the people checking on things, plus also running around. If it has anything to do with FEMA, it's not what it seems. That's just how to do it. That's just how only way to look at it. It is not what it seems when you say, well, FEMA's going to deploy this. FEMA's got helicopters. FEMA don't have nothing. You have to understand it. FEMA don't have nothing. FEMA contracts. I don't have helicopters. I don't have tanks. I don't have none of that stuff. But if I have enough money, guess what? I can contract. I can contract out helicopters, put my logos on them if I wanted to. There are so many things you can do. So that, and here's the thing. I foresee in the future that FEMA is a thing of the past. I do. I really do. Well, do you have intel on that? Well, here's the intel. If America will take its thumb out of its rear end and step up to the plate the way it should, then yes, there's no need for FEMA. Also, I don't know if you saw it or not, but it is a good thing at all the appeals courts and all that stuff. But you got Trump getting back $450-500 million. Y'all remember that? And not only that, you have resignations all over New York right now. And guess who predicted that? Guess who predicted that, hey, after all this is over with, these people will resign or whatever happens to them? That was Trump. Absolutely was Trump. Let me play you this here. This is really good. Let's get going here. Let's go.
Before this all happened, just last month, the Fed seized phones from the Harlem home that she shared with her now husband, Schools Chancellor David Banks, who had electronics seized as well and will be resigning next week instead of at the end of the year that he originally announced. Sheena Wright's departure comes after her brother-in-law, Philip Banks, the deputy mayor of public safety, announced his resignation yesterday. He's one of the mayor's closest allies and longtime friends. He also had electronic devices seized last month. Questions continue to swirl as to whether or not his brother, Terrence Banks, who's a consultant, received any special treatment for his clients when it came to the awarding of city contracts.
He reached out to me and stated, Eric, I'm looking to move on, and this is a good time to do so.
Other departures included Winnie Greco, the mayor's director of Asian Affairs, whose home was previously raided by the feds. Mohammed Bahi resigned as well. He worked in the mayor's community affairs unit, and News 4 has learned that federal prosecutors announced his arrest, saying he's charged with witness tampering and destruction of records. Charging documents say this is all in connection with the ongoing Mayor Adams investigation to the 2021 campaign. There was also a termination that was announced in all of this. Rana Abasova had been on leave from her position as director of protocol in the mayor's Office of International Affairs. Prosecutors say she coordinated improper straw donations and luxury travel upgrades for the mayor and his campaign. It's believed she was cooperating with the Manhattan Federal Prosecutor's Office as a key witness into the mayor's indictment. Two sources familiar with the mayor's plans say Maria Torres Springer will be the replacement for Sheena Wright. All of this happening since we first arrived here, and it's clear that there may be more resignations or possibly terminations that are imminent as well.
And there you have it. And then it will only continue. It will only continue because that rat is out. And, you know, I'm not going to Harley Chick. We'll see. We'll see. But it's just going to continue to go down. Now, isn't it funny that listen to this. This is the power. When I talk about America coming together and doing something great, this is the power of just one person that is persistent and refuses to give in. So Donald Trump several times could have made deals with prosecutors, could have done all this when all the pressure was on him. The pressure from even the Republican Party, people within it, people that pressure him, people that wanted, man, this is going to cause us to, and everything they've done has made his numbers go up. There's no way, you hear me loud and clear here today on this Friday, there is no way Kamala is walking into the White House as the president of the United States. It's not going to happen. Not going to happen. Not going to happen. Barry Hussein Obama has been pretty quiet. So is his buddy Michael. He's been quiet. I mean, they're all. And let me tell you something. If you think it's by just coincidence that they're quiet, they're not. It's not, because their voices are silent for a reason, and not to cause harm. Think of that one. I will touch on this for just a second. Diddy had his day in court yesterday, and of course I saw a video. This is how I'm literally going to give it 60 seconds because I really don't care about him anymore. I just care about the kids. But anyways, he had his day in court. His family's there, and of course I saw his family coming out with their whole slow, somber walk, and I get it. The master of destruction is going down, and that's all been their bread and butter. And so all that's going down. And not only that, the crazy thing about that is not one of his friends was there. Not even LeBron James. None of them were there to even support him, because they were never there to support him in anything he done. They were just there for the moment and for the party. They were just there. I still hope that some of these people, I can keep reaching out to them and get them to respond back in that situation with Diddy, some of his victims, and some of them that are scared for their lives. But anyway, a lot of y'all saw that the helicopter about a week ago went over North Carolina, and it did made all the the distribution center there, flew over that and made all that, the supplies blow all over every place. I was actually going to talk about that next week, but somebody sent me an email also, and I'll go ahead and touch on that. But anyways, actually that helicopter was actually contracted out, okay, by FEMA. And not only that, it was actually contracted out, and it was actually a helicopter that was from the Connecticut Guard helicopter is what it was. And also they had turned their transponder off, so they could not be identified. But it was actually traced and all that stuff. And then even after it was traced, they tried to scrub it. But here's the thing. Some things you just can't scrub. Now, the normal person, I think Monkey Works, he covers that stuff, which he's really great at that. Even for him, it'll get scrubbed, but there's still certain ways that it's not really, it's scrubbed, but it's not. You can still have access to it. And that's who did that. That was actually a middle finger from FEMA, pretty much. I'm running faster because I'm running out of time here. But one of the things, some people have said things to me about, and I'm not going to touch real hard on this today. I'm still waiting for some more information, but what I have so far is not good with Franklin Graham and their little thing that they've had going on. I've received pictures and a lot of information on this. And before I go hog wild on it, I'm just telling you right now, we're going to have, and I've been telling you this for weeks, we're going to have a lot of religious leaders. Take your breath, guys. Take your breath. Breathe deep. Breathe out. You're going to need it. A lot of your religious leaders are going down. Not because the enemy is coming in trying to destroy them. Not because that so-and-so don't like them. Not because, none of that. It's because they've been dirty rats to begin with. And they have been wolves in sheep's clothing. Okay? And I'm going to tell you this right now. You better buckle up for this one. You better buckle up. You just better buckle up. Especially if you're a big, I mean, my grandfather and grandmother was big supporters of Billy Graham and all that. But I'm not talking about Billy Graham. I'm talking about Franklin Graham. It's pretty, it kind of shocked me a little bit. I've heard some things, but it really shocked me. But anyways, and some of it's no shock to you, but, you try to believe in the best for everyone. But anyways, I'm going to play you something real quick here, and what you're hearing here is, I just want you to hear this, and we're talking about, yeah, we'll do it. I was thinking about it there for a second. I was like, man, maybe I won't, but I think I will. Here we go.
Of the United States, Thomas Jefferson had more than one family.
We are the 7th great-grandchildren of Thomas Jefferson and Sally Hemings.
I'm 8th generation descendant of Thomas Jefferson and Sally Hemings.
I am the 4 times great-granddaughter of Thomas Jefferson.
I am the 4th great-granddaughter.
I'm the 4th great-grandson of Sally Hemings and Thomas Jefferson.
I'm a 9th generation descendant.
I'm the 5th great-grandson.
I'm the 5th great-granddaughter.
I am the 6th great-grandson of President Thomas Jefferson and Sally Hemings. And now you know.
All right. So, what's the big deal? Big deal, right? Well, I played that because it's interesting, because some of these children are like white. Some of them are black. Some of them are mixed. It's quite crazy. And you're hearing all these, great-grandchildren, all these other things going down. And we're talking about Thomas Jefferson here. And Thomas Jefferson, and here's the thing. Everybody goes, oh, Thomas Jefferson is a great man of history. And, did some good things. But Sally Hemings, she was only 14 years old. History doesn't tell you that. History doesn't tell you that Thomas Jefferson liked them young and dark. Let me see here. Yeah. He liked, and not only that, he was a Freemason, but he was a Luciferian also. If we're going to go in history, we must all go in history. See. My mom, I'm reading, for those of you listening already, I'm reading the chat here. So my mom loved Billy Graham. What about when Franklin Graham visited Voodoo Donuts a while back and posted the pics all over the internet? Oh, God. Okay. You had to do that to me today, right? Okay. Okay. Yep, we'll do it. I'll go off script here. So Franklin Graham, he posted on his social media that he was at this place called Voodoo Donuts. And, here's the thing. If you're in Louisiana or somewhere like that, and you go to eat somewhere, you see voodoo stuff everywhere, especially in New Orleans. Like voodoo chili or voodoo this or voodoo that. And doesn't mean that it's voodoo. It just means that it's a marketing thing. So Franklin Graham goes to this place, and he posts pictures on his social media. And of course, he said, let me pull it up here because I got it. It says, take a look at these killer donuts. # Portland, Oregon. And he's got a box there, and he opened it up and got a box of just donuts there. You have to really zoom in on the donuts and everything. But this was actually, understand, this has been going on for years, guys. See, it goes on for years, and then when you finally start talking about things, it goes, oh gosh, it is such a shock, and it is to me too a little bit, because you really just don't want these people doing stupid crap. Anyways, Franklin Graham, he poses outside the Voodoo Donuts, and the logo of the Voodoo Donuts is a pink sign with purple, and then it has like a pink donut kind of with arms, a little face on it, like it's representing a kid in pink and black. And then also on the chest of it, it has the pedophilia, the circle squirrel thing on there that represents pedophilia. And then not only that, they show a donut of them holding up. And now, for those of you that have very sensitive ears, okay, I want you to plug your ears, okay? Because I'm going to tell you exactly, I'm not going to bullcrap you and beat around the bush here, right? Because this is going to be this ain't going to be vague. This is going to be very direct and very, very out there. So they pose with a donut. One of the donuts is it's like 4 cream-filled donuts. And on the top of it is a crucifix of Jesus. And I'm not lying, guys. I'm looking at it right here. And you can Google it if you want to. But anyways, it's a crucifix of Jesus, and it's got like these cookie things in his hands and little stems in his feet with like red icing coming out where he was crucified. In the box, okay, I'm going to talk to you about that. But the Voodoo Donuts, the logo of them, and even on the donuts themselves, that even Franklin Graham was having, it is actually the sex trafficking / child pornography and pedophilia symbol that they use to advertise stories, clothing, food. It's called Pink Child Party Vans, and it's a pretty busy website. That's what they say. But anyways, man, how can I say all this? But I'm just gonna say it. So the whole sign out front, the pink sign with the kid on the front, The pink sign represents the girl in her pink panties, and it shows a girl in her pink panties. Then the kid on the top or in the middle of is actually a boy in black underwear. And of course, the symbol on them is the pedophilia sign. And one of the donuts that Franklin's eating is actually a little kid. It looks like it's a chocolate donut. His eyes are wide open, and the mouth is wide open, and it has the pedophilia symbol on its chest. And one of the signs, it says, "I got VD in Portland. The magic is in the hole." It's talking about the donuts. Good things come to those in pink boxes. So I started looking into some of this stuff too. One of the donuts that he's eating is called, I'm telling you guys, you better buckle up. It's called the cock and balls. That's what it's called. I'm not lying. Just telling you, it's called the cock and balls. It looks exactly what I just said, except it's covered in chocolate. Not only that, there's another donut that's chocolate, but on the top of it, it's the pentagram that's on top of it. Then there's another one over to the side that's goofy, and then there's another one. It's called the Old Dirty Bastard. That's the other donut. Here's the thing. Why? Just why? Just why? Just why? Even if you're not that way, why go? Why? Okay, let me just say this. I keep telling you all, stop doing business with people that don't have the like mind of you and don't have your best interest at heart. When people go to places like this, it's not because that's the only donut place around. It's because they're familiar with the message. You can hate me. You can stop following. You can get off this train of DC if you want to. I don't care, because I'm not about kissing your butt and your feelings. I'm about exposing this stuff. And somebody brought it up and I jumped into it. And the thing is the whole symbolism of this. And you can even look at some of the FBI stuff on pedophilia and things like that. It's a universal symbol for, how can I say this, little boy getting raped. It's and here's the thing is, Franklin Glad, that fucker's sitting there with his thumb up and smiling at the camera. Not only that, he's sitting there smiling outside the sign. Seriously, if a high-profile religious leader will stand out in front of this place that is openly having the pedophilia sign, Voodoo Donuts, and smiling like it's no big deal, I hate to break it to you guys. Like-minded people hang out with like-minded people. Birds with feathers flock together. I just saw some of my numbers go down on the radio, and I don't give a shit. I don't care. It's pathetic. It's disgusting. And I'm just, and let me just tell you this. If you think that's it, is that all you got, DC? Hell no, it's not all I got. No. You really don't need to see what I got. But guess what? I'm going to show it. I'm going to put it out there sometime. But I just don't want to throw one little thing out to where you still sit there and go, well, I can still question this, right? I want to make sure that when I put it out there, that it blows your mind. You're like, there's no second guessing. There's no plausibility. It's absolutely mind blowing, and you cannot believe that crap went on. It's unbelievable. And we'll get more to that story later, but thank you for bringing that up and firing me up on that one. kind of took me off track a little bit. But anyways, I know I'm going over today, but that's okay. I got one more story to give you here. Yesterday, I played a story about Tina Peters, about her being arrested. And I'm shocked. And let me stop here. Samaritan's Purse. That's the thing. When I called the representative of North Carolina and was bitching to him about how they were telling people they were going to take their places, and then they swore them down, they weren't. And then Mickey, when I called the second time, Mickey answered the phone, and Mickey said, "Why don't you just start delivering to Samaritan Purse?" Listen, faggot, why do I want to put my freaking money in something that I know for a fact has had their hand in pedophilia and child pornography and child sex trafficking? Tell me, why? Nothing. I ain't doing it. And I'm not going to tell anybody else. Oh, you go ahead and give it to Samaritan's Purse. They'll take care of it. No, I'll tell you what they'll do. No, I ain't going to tell you what they'll do. But I'll tell you what. I ain't giving to their bag ass. We'll take the money and go out ourselves. Person to person. Boots on ground. People to people. Make sure we make a change in America. Stop covering for these people. Stop covering for Jakes. Stop covering for these freaking pedophiles. Because I'm going to tell you what, when the truth comes out, all the truth comes out, your favorite religious leaders and politicians and people that you may look up to are going to have a really hard time walking around in America staying alive, especially when they're not prosecuted or don't get prosecuted. You better hope they take their millions of dollars and hire Vanguard to protect their ass, because they're going to need it. Because if I come face to face with someone that is a current pedophile and someone that I know is continuing using their position, I'm going to beat the fucking shit out of them. I'm not lying. It goes all through my blood. It does. And I know after this show, so, oh my gosh, you got to quit talking that way. Yeah, you know what? I'm not going to restrain myself. That's the difference in America. Some people restrain themselves. I can't say anything because I may lose. I'm not here for fans. I'm here for truth. And I refuse to sit back and continue to give money. Samaritan's Purse. You know how much money they brought in all the years they've been in existence? Do you realize the amount of millions of dollars that have come in? And do you realize the amount of change that they've done with those millions of dollars? It doesn't add up. Neither does Salvation Army. Neither does freaking Goodwill. None of these people. Billy Graham. I'm disappointed, guys. Absolutely. Billy Graham belonged to the Bohemian Grove. And there's all kinds of footage of that. And that's the thing about some Americans. You can show them video of the person there, and they will go, well, I believe they've asked for forgiveness. I can't hold it against them. You don't have to hold it against them, especially if it wasn't done to you. But if they continue to be a part of those crews and those groups that continually stand up for wrong things, they don't shake your hand and pat your little kid's head and, oh, little Billy's so adorable. They're not thinking you have a beautiful family. They're thinking, I'd like to get in little Billy's pants, because they're fucking disgusting. That's what they are. Trust me, when the list comes out, you're going to be rocked. I am warning you. When all the lists come out, I'm sorry. You may say, I just can't believe it. You better freaking believe it, because it's coming out. Nothing can stop what is coming their way. It's called the truth. All along they've been preaching the truth. Yeah. CEO of Samaritan's Purse makes more than $622,000 a year. You tell me where the kids' lives was changing that. You give me $622,000 and I'll show you all kinds of change. That reminds me one thing. North Carolina, somebody had reached out to me there. If people have vehicles, now I'm not talking about vehicles that don't run. I'm talking about a vehicle that runs. If you have extra vehicles, whatever, there are people that have had their vehicles destroyed. I'm talking vehicles that do run. I actually have someone that has volunteered to go through vehicles if we have any that's donated, to go through them, to get them cleaned up, to get them serviced, get them ready to rock and roll, and get them out to people to give them. So if you have, I'm not asking you for anything. I'm just telling you, if you have old vehicles or a vehicle that's decent, it's extra and you want to get rid of, truck or car or van, whatever it is, you can reach out to me, let me know, and I'll get that pointed in the right direction. But anyways, that's that. I have to get off this Graham thing because I could go on it for hours and I can chew it up and spit it up alive, but I'll be afraid to tell too much. So anyways, Tina Peters, yesterday I played the story on her about it getting arrested and was put into jail. Someone did send me an email on this, and I did do research on this. The thing is, I think everybody got the wrong opinion yesterday. Now, here's the thing: is if I make a mistake, I'm not about going, hey, I'm not going to say it. No, I'll say, hey, I made a mistake. But in this, I think everybody got the wrong idea in this, because she was sentenced for. Well, I'll tell you what. Let's just do this. I'll play you this here. I'm gonna play you some a news clip here. Now, I'm gonna start this news clip. This is gonna be my last deal here, guys. But I'm going to start this news clip, and then I'm going to stop it a little bit because I want to make a comment here. Let me get it here. Sorry.
County Clerk Tina Peters overwhelmed emergency dispatchers with right-wing rage. Call after call jamming their 911 lines. Our Steve Steger got recordings of the calls, which echo election rigging. Recent arrest of Mesa County Clerk Tina Peters overwhelmed emergency dispatchers with right-wing rage. Call after...
Okay, let me stop. First of all, next 9 News, y'all suck donkey butts, okay? Because here's the thing. This is how you know that they're full of crap. When they first start out the segment with right-wing blah, 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 blah. Right-wing. News people make me so freaking sick. But anyways, let me play this.
Call jamming their 911 lines. Our Steve Steger got recordings of the calls, which echo election rigging conspiracy claims about communists and Nazis.
Yeah, I just want to say you're thugs and criminals.
It took a few hours.
I'm just calling up to voice my opinion.
A few hours after Mesa County Clerk Tina Peters was arrested, the Grand Junction Police Dispatch Center resembled a call-in radio show.
Dispatch, it's Melissa. Hi, Melissa. So I'm calling you from Chicago because I just saw a video of Tina Peters being detained, and it was embarrassing.
Things got so bad that by the evening of February 8th, Grand Junction PD posted online asking people to stop.
I used to back the blue, and I always thought the sheriff's departments throughout the country were the best and everybody else were crap. Well, what they did to Tina Peters today was outrageous.
And it depends on what state you're in and what county you're in and how the sheriffs are controlled.
When did they become a communist? Hello?
Call after call.
I want to talk to whoever the hell put those handcuffs on that nice woman. I saw it on the television. I can't believe it. I'm a Colorado resident, and I'm furious.
These calls started to come in after 3 p.m., according to the log, right after Steve Bannon interviewed Colonel Sean Smith, one of the leaders of election fraud conspiracies in Colorado.
The police should be ashamed of themselves.
The callers started parroting what they heard on Bannon's show.
This is the use of state violence by tyrants.
I'm just ashamed that police departments are the arms of tyrants these days.
I got news for the Gestapo. I got news for you. You're not going to break Tina Peters.
Is this a Nazi headquarters?
So it's not a safe
way to make a comment. It's not an appropriate use of resources.
Callie Berkson with the Grand Junction Police Department says these comments jam the lines for people who actually have emergencies.
Those people who need those resources, they're not going to be able to get into our 911 communications center.
Dispatchers handled it all with grace in the midst of screams and threats made by people who sound like they're complaining about an overcooked steak.
Very simple, very simple. I want to talk to the sergeant at arms and make that decision who sent them over there, or I'm going to put your number on the internet. You did 1,000 calls tonight.
Everybody already has our numbers. It's public information.
Public information. I feel like I was always taught that you could get in serious trouble if you call 911 and it's not an emergency. In this case, people were calling the non-emergency
All right. And in this case, I always thought that when you had bad journalism, you always gotten replaced. Oh, I'm not done with the story. I'm not done with it.
From out of town couldn't call 911 anyway. Today, Berkson told me the only way to really charge someone for misusing emergency services like that is if they make a false report. Grand Junction's had some problems with this in big incidents in the past where they've had people calling their 911 dispatch center. They've actually had to set up a complaint line where people can call and voice their complaints or any other sort of message they might have for the police department. So they do get some compliments for police officers on that line, too.
You could hear some people working out the cognitive dissonance of back the blue, except for when they come for the politician that I like.
Several callers into that dispatch center said, hey, I support police officers. I just don't support them doing this. And it's really interesting when you watch that full interview with Steve Bannon, you hear Colonel Smith saying, like, police officers, don't do this. Don't be an arm for the tyrant.
Okay. So, and now this is next news with Kyle, whatever the heck his name is. Shoot. Kyle Clark. What a piece of work. What a piece of work. So when this happens, they're calling 911 and they're just giving the. And here's the thing. For law enforcement, I think that we have. I say it over. I know for a fact we have good and bad. Oh my God. And I'm gonna be honest with you. Oh man. Almost across America. Almost. Now, before anybody jump, oh, mine's fine. I'm going to tell you this. There's always someone dirty. Sometimes more than one. And then we'll touch that on a different day. Anyway, so this lady, I'm going to play one more thing here, but I'm trying to prove a point here too, because the news, and you understand how they kind of made fun of it. They're like, well, these people calling in and complaining because she was arrested it was almost like they were complaining over an overcooked steak. Are you kidding me? Are you freaking kidding me? I think people ought to call this Next 9 News and tell them what a piece of trash this guy Kyle is. That he needs to go back to school for journalism. Learn how to communicate. But here's the thing. They push the narrative of it, the right wing, conspiracy theorists, those people, they're dangerous. They're dangerous. You want me to tell you why they keep saying that? You wonder why you're hearing more, even Biden, that making this stuff up, Marjorie Taylor Greene saying they're controlling those, because they're being exposed, they're being found out, and two, they're scared. They're scared. They're scared because we know the truth and we will not sit back. And the next thing they'll do is cause those people, that guy DC's got to, they're inciting violence. And no, they're not. They're inciting people actually have a brain and think for themselves in America. But anyways, Tina Peters, not about me. Let me get this here. Listen to this bag of trash talk again.
Peters' defense for letting her fellow election conspiracy theorists into the Mesa County voting system hinges.
Let me stop. Letting her conspiracy theorist. Here's the thing. I can't take it. I'm going to just punch that guy in the mouth. Can't take it. I just can't take it here. So, anyways, she's. Good God. Seriously. They just. When I tell you that the news just makes me go, bleh, they do. I'm still going to play it. Sorry.
Letting her fellow election conspiracy theorists into the Mesa County voting system hinges on the idea that she did nothing illegal that day. But Peters' former deputy clerk testified in court today that Peters knew she was in deep trouble when conspiracy theorists shared the private data publicly, saying aloud, quote, "I'm effed." Peters faces 7 felony charges for tampering with her own county.
Conspiracy theorists. Do you realize what the news even does? This guy, Kyle, what a piece of trash he is. What a piece of crap. Man, if a turd could talk, it'd be him. And here's the thing. They are pushing the narrative of the conspiracy theorists, the people that are crazy, the people that are nuts. But I'm going to tell you what they won't do. Someone like Kyle with Next 9 News would never say that to a conspiracy theorist's face. They hide behind a camera. You know, what we used to call in chat rooms years ago when we was kids, they call keyboard warriors. He's one of those generation guys that's never had someone to drag him and spread his ass all over the red carpet. Crazy, just crazy. So this woman, arrested, sentenced. I played it yesterday, and I think everybody took it the wrong way. She was not sentenced because she was just, and if it came off that way, I'm sorry, but it wasn't that way. She was not arrested because she was doing all kinds of fraud stuff. She was arrested. They arrested her for fraud, but not the fraud that you're thinking. You're thinking doing something else. What she did was she was trying to have election integrity pretty much, and was trying to make sure that there was no goofiness going on, because during the election, what were they saying? There was all kinds of goofiness going on with the ballots and all stuff. So she was having someone to check it out, yada, yada, yada. And of course, you know, her Democratic people want to have her arrested and made a, and what they've done is they made her a scapegoat. This is a gold star mom, you know, absolutely just, and she knew what was actually against her and against the regulations. And I don't think she was in there to delete any reports or anything. I think she was in there to make sure that her county or government, whatever it was, to make sure that there was election integrity there. And because of that, they got her. You know, she got 9 years out of this. Do I think she's going to serve 9 years? No. Because I believe it's a price to pay for the stupidity of a Democratic Party and for tyrants in there. Let's see here. Someone's saying they've been asking the same question. Are you asking me a question that I haven't seen yet? Okay, here we go. Can I ask why the good military? Okay, yeah, we'll answer that here in just a second. But anyway, so anyways, this lady will be vindicated. She will be vindicated, but not without the price that was paid of having to go to jail. You know, here's the thing. The journalism today is not about telling a story. The true, let me tell you what journalism is. That's me telling you about Franklin Graham and telling you exactly what he ate, the titles of it. You understand? That's called true journalism. I'm not a journalist. I'm just a troublemaker, right? But that's true journalism. But what they want to do, the only thing they try to do is twist it to the conspiracy theorists do this, and the whack jobs on the right do this, and that's those guys. Here's the thing. I hate it for her, but at the same time, if that's all they got to stand on is conspiracy theories and call us nuts or whatever, go ahead. But they are scared. They're scared. They're scared. That's why that they're always pushing. Even Biden. Where's Fauci, guys? Where's some of these people at? They're scared. Some of them ain't even alive. I hate to break it to you. Let me see here. So, yeah, Tina was preserving the records. Absolutely, in case because they were trying to erase through Dominion. They were trying to erase the system and calling it an update, but they were trying to erase it. Can I ask why, if the good military know this stuff has been manipulated in hurricanes, why don't they go after them? Who says they're not? You won't see it on the mainstream media. All you'll hear is conspiracy theorists are saying this. There are some things that I do know that's going on that cannot be discussed right now. Let's see here. Okay. Yeah, there's things on other sides that can't be discussed right now. But let me just say this. It is being dealt with. It's being dealt with. Do I think it's going to continue? I think we may see some more of this stuff through the next coming months. But I think after the first of the year, it's going to all be over with that. And I'm talking a lot of this weather crap. Let's see here. Try to answer a couple more questions here, and then I'll be done. Yeah, Miss Peters, and that's the thing. I didn't want anyone to think yesterday that I was saying that she was such a bad person and this and that, because she was actually trying to protect the integrity of the vote. And the reason why, that's one of the reasons why I say, if you vote early, that's fine. That's no big deal. Me personally, I like to walk in, get my paper, show my ID, get my paper, go sit down, do my voting, and then walk it over to the machine that gets tallied and watch it get pushed in with no one writing on it, no one doing anything to make it not usable. That's me making sure that the integrity of my vote is going through. But I will tell you this, for those of you that are on here that pray for this lady that I was just talking about. It's Tina Peters. Put her in your prayer. Those of you ladies that listen to me from church, sorry about my language, but at the same time, put Tina Peters on your prayer list. That one, God would bring clarity, revelation, and unmerited favor and miracles. Let me look here. IH44, I'm not sure about the Disney thing there. Haven't heard much on that. I do know that they was having like parties in there during the fact, but I'm not sure what happened with that. All right. So anyways, I didn't do any major commercials today, which is fine. Anywho, it's Friday, everybody. I want you to have a great weekend. We went over quite a bit today, which is fine. Man, we're almost 2 hours straight. But it's all good. It's all good. If something happens over the weekend, I'll be back on. Y'all know that. I'm working on some other stuff. Keep in mind everything we talked about today. It's a lot. It's a ton of stuff. We jumped all over. Election, storms, all that good stuff. Pretty soon you'll be hearing more about the little team I'm putting together. It'll be good stuff. I'm trying to think of anything else. If you get a chance, go to our website, E as in Echo, IOBN. EIOB as in Bravo, N as in Nancy, .com. Go to Excellence in Online Broadcasting Network. Check us out. And you can go through there. All of our social media links are on there. Ways to contact us on there. Also, if you want to give, there's a place to donate on there. If you still want to give and go to North Carolina, put it in there. If you want to go to Florida, put it in there. And next week, we'll have more information about our team we're putting together. I'm excited about having you on board with me and all of us together making an impact in America. Let me tell you something, guys. I can't do it without you, and you can't do it without me. All together, collectively, we rock this country, and we will continue to rock this country and all the things that's going on with truth and knowledge and intel. Catch y'all later. DC out.